and welcome back to episode 17 of the Best of Rivals podcast. I'm here with my man Jay.
Yes, sir.
And Jay, you guys,
Cooking, baby.
you guys finally got the, you guys finally won the weekend, over us. First time in a while.
What is it, like 2-17 now?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Not honestly, very, very disappointed in my team for sure. I mean, I kind of wanted to turn the game off. Just hate the way we played, but we'll sort of get into that. Also watched you guys, and I had a feeling that winner was coming, especially from Rashford. I just had a feeling.
After what he's been through and everything, the whole storyline.
They put him on super early.
Yeah.
They were going to get the goal. It was a matter of time. And Rashford's known for stealing these late game winners, so it was one of those things, man. I was so pissed on both ends. I was so pissed. My girl was like, "Oh my god, this guy's crazy."
Yeah, because from your whole take on things, City lost footing with, obviously the points. They dropped some, and then Liverpool, Chelsea, and United won all their games.
Exactly.
This is pivotal.
It's so frustrating, right? But before we get into all that, Jay, I do have to make one announcement real quick, Jay.
What is it? What is it?
One of the loyal viewers sent in a gift, and if you're watching this if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you might want to check out the YouTube version of this just for a second. But I'm going to bring it here. I do have the gift.
Let me see.
Already unwrapped. I must say, Jay, this is a quality.
I'm excited.
Gift. I'm gonna move my mic here real quick. Here we go. There he is, baby.
What?
There he is.
Oh, this man has if you know anything about FIFA right here, okay? He has like an ultimate team card, basically. CDM, Daniel Bevan, 99. That's the overall. That's just cap right there. The guy's not 99. All right, is that dribbling 81, defense 99? I'll give his defense a 90.
90.
Dribbling 85. I think they kind of
may gas
down. Yeah. Okay, that's fire, man. Who was that from?
Just a loyal viewer, aka my brother.
That's fire, man. Jacob with the artistic touch right there.
No, it's really, really cool. Glad he gave me that. He wanted to make an appearance on the podcast, so I had to do that real quick.
Much love. Love.
Honestly, I wish that card was playing on the weekend, because we really did need a little bit of a boost for sure.
I mean, yeah, bringing up that. Let me ask you. How are you feeling? You guys 1-1 to Southampton, and it's funny, we talked about this. The weekend prior, you were kind of skeptical, like, oh, are we going to get our point back? Because I think you guys drew with them.
We drew with them last fixture,
last game, right?
Yep,
exactly. So it's like, the Southampton have your number? What is it? Is Pep going in and overthinking things? Who are you blaming this week? This weekend?
It's hard to put blame on one person. I love watching City most weeks, but there are just some, and I don't mind if City lose, but we play well, or we try hard, or we actually make runs, and we move without the ball. But when we're stagnant, it's just the worst thing to watch, and that's exactly what we were for the majority of that game. The goal that they scored was from their right back, and it was just their right back just running past everyone, right? Like Foden, not sprinting, Cancelo diving in, not sprint. Like, just no one had a sense of urgency, because it's Southampton. It's a random game. We're already
a slip up game.
It's a slip up
game
game.
That you go in, you don't really expect, I guess, the opposing team to really put up a fight.
Exactly.
You're going in with the mentality, just like, we got this.
And this is why I think there's times where we should be playing some of our younger players, because our younger players always have the motivation, right? Because they're trying to break into the first team and stuff like that. Just play some of these young guys, because in games like this, we have so many stars on the pitch, so many guys making 200, 300K a week, and to just not focus for that 90 minutes is just really, really disappointing, especially against a team that already we had problems with. So,
do you think you guys will learn from this, and next weekend will be a domination, or is it going to be another slip up? Is this like the point where I was telling you should worry about? Don't get too comfortable in the little roller coaster.
No,
It's all good right now.
Yeah,
But
I really don't get too comfortable for sure. I mean, I think this is one of those things where Pep's going to do what he does, right? Anytime we have a slip up, we come back and we typically dominate the next game. Doesn't really matter who it is. But yeah, I'm not overreacting, right? But that's why you go on these 11 game, 12 game win streaks. It's so you can have bad performances and bad games like this and still have a cushion. So we've sort of done our work. Sure, a little bit of a slip up, but I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal in the end.
I mean, I think that's the fan in you talking.
Oh yeah, okay.
Everyone's doing for a slip up. I don't care who you are. Every team is, unless you're the one Arsenal team that went undefeated.
Yeah, maybe.
But unless you're a rare case like that, you're due for a slip up. And I think City's is coming. Now, will you guys lose the title? Probably not. But I do think there's some room left to be gained by some parties. And I think that's perfect because we saw, this weekend with Liverpool and Chelsea, like I said, they both won their games. And that's something that City is probably worried about a little bit. I want to shift to, I mean to cut you off, but I want to shift to Chelsea really quickly.
Yeah.
Because they are, third in the standings. And they play Liverpool, I believe, in the English Cup? The Carabao Cup, I believe, final?
Yes, in the final. Yep, Carabao Cup final.
They play them in that final, that fixture, and they're also right behind Liverpool in terms of standings.
Yep.
So my question to you is, should Chelsea be more concerned? I mean, my bad. Should Liverpool be more concerned with Chelsea chasing Man City or fending off Chelsea? Because they're right there, in my terms at least, behind City. Okay. They're right there with you guys. They're off by a few points, but they have games in hand.
If they win the next,
Chelsea's right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Listen, I think it's one of those things where, and I see what you're saying, right? I mean, at the end of the day, these guys just go in to win the game, right? But at some point, you have to sort of reel it back a little bit and say, should I just make sure I get a draw against a big team, right? So I don't lose again. I see where you're going.
And my bad, I don't mean to cut you off again, but there was a poorly phrased question. I just want to be clear again. I'm just asking you: should Chelsea be more concerned with chasing Liverpool, or there we go again? Should Liverpool be more concerned with chasing Man City or fending off Chelsea? That's my question to you.
Yeah. Liverpool is going to still try and go for the chase. Right. I think what you're really asking is, should Liverpool prioritize the Champions League now and prioritize the
not even the Champions League? Like I said, they face Chelsea in the Carabao too.
Yeah.
Right. So Chelsea, my turn. What I'm saying is Chelsea is on Liverpool's ass for the most part. They want that second spot and they want that title in the Carabao Cup. Should Liverpool say fuck that and just say I'm chasing City, like I don't care about you, or is it like Chelsea's a real threat? Are they a real threat to Liverpool?
But to second though, like do you really care about second if you're Liverpool?
It's bragging rights. No, it's bragging rights because don't get me wrong. Isn't Liverpool in London?
No. Liverpool's in.
Or is it its own?
No. Chelsea. Liverpool.
I know Chelsea's London, right?
Chelsea's London. Yeah.
Right.
Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. And then it's Liverpool,
that's
Everton,
London.
and Newcastle. Like that's that area.
They're all London.
No, Liverpool, Newcastle, Everton are all in one spot, and then the London teams are like there's so many London teams.
I got you. Hey, I'm getting my lesson here. I love it. This is why you come to Best of Rivals. You get lessons as well.
little English geography.
Yes. But no. I'm what I'm saying is I think it's bragging rights. So I think second does mean something at least.
Listen, these big four, these big six, they're always they're always semi rivals, right? We do have obviously big rivalries between the Manchester teams, and then Manchester versus Liverpool, and even Chelsea versus Liverpool, and Chelsea versus United. Like these are big rivalries. Chelsea versus Arsenal, even obviously Arsenal versus Tottenham. So I get it from that perspective, but I think at some point you have to start prioritizing the trophies that you can still win. And I think it would be a mistake if Chelsea don't go all in for that Carabao Cup final. it would be a massive mistake. It would be a massive mistake if Liverpool didn't go all in for that Carabao Cup final.
Yeah, it means something.
It means something. Whether you think it's not that important,
Yeah,
you have to go all in, and then you have to also think about FA Cup coming up. Then you have to think about Champions League games. Are these guys really going to be focused on beating out City, who, let's say Liverpool win their game in hand. They're only 6 points behind. I understand it's close, but I don't know. If I'm Liverpool, I think I still have a chance. If I'm Chelsea, I don't think I have a chance. I'll be honest. I think Chelsea's completely done. So,
wow, you're giving up on Chelsea. Is that the fault of? Because I've been wondering about Chelsea.
Yeah, a lot of injuries. A lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries, but Romelu Lukaku, we're gonna get on him a little bit more. But
yeah,
is that his fault? Is that the fault of the manager?
Well, I'm down to go to him right now. Honestly, I mean, I don't think
cut to it. Hey,
I don't think it's his fault, right? Because there's just a lot going on in Chelsea, right? The formation's crazy. Defenders have to score every game. They're playing guys kind of out of position. No one's really comfortable at Chelsea besides a guy like maybe Kovacic and maybe Rudiger. Like, these guys are comfortable. Everyone else is like
Rudiger eats over there at Chelsea. It's crazy.
He
eats.
He had a great game today against Tottenham. By the way,
Shouts to Rudiger.
The
German.
He got. I don't know if you saw it, but some of the Tottenham away fans were throwing lighters at him, bro, on the pitch, and they were like close to him.
I'm not surprised, and I want to just a little 10-second rant.
Yeah,
the fans in football need to do way better, man.
Yeah,
you guys are way too old for that. Way too old for that.
It's grown men doing this, bro, and
it's grown men. And you have like your kids right there next to you who are also doing the same thing.
And it's not exactly, and it's not even like the throwing, right? The throwing stuff is bad, but it's just really that's really an outcome or a result of the culture. Like when you look at these fans that are like close to the pitch, the people
you condone it.
Yeah, like you're like every time the camera pans to a fan that's close to the pitch, they're swearing at the guys and
hand gestures, all type of
all this stuff. It's like it's like you guys are grown men, but at the same time, this is the culture, football. In reality, is 90% of maybe 80% of the fans are, they just go in there to support their team. But
right,
it's these few fans, and it's so much different, in American sports, right? Like if a fan disturbs a game, like everyone in the game stops, everyone in the stadium knows about it, and that fan's gone. Like it's just that simple. So
yeah, 100%. 100%. The fans aren't getting away with any type of murder in America.
Yeah.
Just the players have a little bit more power.
The players,
they have a say
because the players are the ones who are making the league money. So it's like,
exactly,
how do you not protect the asset? If we're looking at it in business terms alone, let alone humanity, right? So, very, 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 very sad to see, but at the same time, you don't really expect anything much, especially when there's no rules in place to really stop this stuff from happening. But a little digression there. If we go back to Chelsea, I think maybe injuries to guys like Reece James and Chilwell. Remember, the wing backs for Chelsea are so important for that system, and when your two best wing backs are injured, that's going to hurt. So yeah, I mean, and then not playing Lukaku, and then he comes out with the interview, and then he comes back today and he looks like he's decent, but it's still Lukaku. He's not the most skilled forward on the planet. So I don't know. I think, listen, Chelsea managers have got fired for a lot less than what Tuchel's doing right now. Let's be honest. Their drop in form is not great. So, and they're completely, in my opinion, they're completely out of the title race for sure. So, is Lukaku the problem? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think he's been treated properly in that system. Again, like what did we say at the start of the season, right? We said this guy might score the most goals in the season. There's times where, like, sure, he had injury, comes back, doesn't even play. So
yeah.
And by the way, with the whole interview stuff, I wouldn't have punished him at all. I'd just be like, listen, bro, behind closed doors, and then you play next game. Just use this guy. Your whole goal is to win games, especially at Chelsea. Like other clubs, you can maybe get away with a couple slip ups. Chelsea, you can't as a manager. So,
100%.
It's tough to see for sure if you're a Chelsea fan. But on our end, we don't really care too much. But I'll tell you, there's been a couple other disappointments that we've sort of mentioned throughout the podcast in earlier weeks. Grealish being one. I mean, he played yesterday, and my God, this guy I don't think he's ever made a one-touch pass in his entire career. The guy has to take 4 or 5 touches just to pass it back to a defender. I mean, I'm tired of that guy. And then Sancho, who couldn't play um, yesterday for you guys, I believe he was at a funeral or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
personal matter.
Personal matter, yep. I mean, we see Martial come in, we see Rashford come in. We'll probably talk about them a little bit later, more in more detail. But
Yeah,
to Sancho even keep his place, we have guys like Alanga and Greenwood.
crazy, right?
So
Alanga just making noise.
exactly. So in your opinion, if you look at those, I guess those 3 players, who's had the best impact? I mean, I don't like what's best, right? But who's had the best impact? Where would you rate those players in terms of their signings?
And when you say players, you're saying Grealish, Sancho, and
Lukaku, all players that came in the summer. Like if you let's do this. Let's rank them as the signings during the summer. So before the season started,
okay.
where did you have those 3 in terms of rankings, in terms of signings, like great signings?
Lukaku,
Mm.
Sancho,
Grealish.
Grealish.
I would 100% agree. And where are we at right now in terms of like
Who's performing the best? And,
what day is it? January 23rd. Where are we at with those signings, bro?
all right, hear me out.
Okay.
See, if I don't know if you're gonna agree with me here,
I
but
probably will. Go ahead.
Sancho,
Okay.
Lukaku, Grealish, um, and that's just me picking really because like Sancho, if you look at it by the numbers, and I don't look at the game by the numbers, just like it's more than that,
Yeah,
But
of course, especially in
if
football.
you look at the numbers, he's not producing,
Yeah.
But I've seen a
None
guy
of these
play.
guys really are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them are producing, but I've seen him play, and his impact is clearly there. So
Yeah.
when the system is in play, I know he can perform really well,
So
and
you think he's going to
he's
get better over the season?
yes, I think he's the best investment so far from what
Okay.
I've seen.
That's a
Best
great. I
investment,
mean, cheapest one too. So,
cheapest exactly.
which is
And
ridiculous, by the way.
right,
But
and then I think you have to give Lukaku number 2 because
Mhm.
when he started the season, he was the hottest.
At least yeah,
He had his stretch.
he's got 5 goals in the season. I mean,
He has 5 goals.
you expect him to make some noise in the Champions League. He's going to be hopefully playing in. Oh, to be honest, I hate Liverpool so much. I actually really hope he
Yeah.
plays in the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah. He's just struggling from something that's always like happened to him in his career. It's political, His
Mm.
political game is a player, and it's something in football, especially, it's very important. There's 2 sides to the game. There's the political side, and there's the on the field side.
Yeah.
And a lot of players don't have the political side. So Lukaku is one of them. He's always had a feuds with management,
Mm.
behind the scenes or some shit, just him not understanding. You have to sometimes play the poker face or do things you don't want to do. Compromise.
Yeah.
Icardi's another one. His political game is terrible.
Icardi.
That's why you're not on an international team. I'm serious, man.
No,
Like,
no,
he's
100%. I think most people know Icardi for stuff off the pitch, so it's
off the pitch.
probably yeah.
It's goofy, and it's like think of like you're not thinking
Mhm.
correctly.
What can happen when you're getting paid 300K a week? And after Lukaku's great season at Inter, I mean, his head's probably in the clouds in terms of like, yo, the team should be built around me.
Yeah.
And if
'Cause, I mean, the talent's there, man. Like we've seen it at Everton, when he was there for a little bit, and
I
then he
mean,
went to
we
Chelsea, like Man U. He produces everywhere he's at. It's just he doesn't sustain that, or
Mhm.
he doesn't move past that point, and it's because he's not mature enough.
You think
He
so?
isn't
Okay.
Ronaldo. He's not built from that cloth. I love Lukaku, but in terms of just being a killer, like and
Mm.
zoning out and not fucking feeding into the media. Ronaldo does it very, very well. Like he's the biggest star in the world, I don't athlete wise,
Yeah.
and he still tunes it out and goes in and kills. You want to know why? Because like he just like deattaches, like
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's actually a really, really good point. That's a really good point, actually. Honestly, I probably agree with you on most of that Lukaku analysis. Um, that's very interesting. In
we're
terms of,
going deep.
yeah, I know, right? In terms of those 3 players, I'd probably no, I would agree with you. I think Sancho's 100% the best investment.
Okay.
Lukaku's going to win you
Wow.
games. And what I've said even since day one of when we signed Grealish, not only was it way too much money, which was part of his release clause. Understand that. I
Yeah.
understand that contractual stuff. But it's not a play that we needed. Depth is extremely important for City and our goals for hopefully winning 3 trophies this season. But Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think. Listen, man, I watch Grealish and I can't stand the guy. I can't stand him. But
You
at the
hate
same,
you hate him, huh?
I don't hate him.
Has he
I don't.
overtaken Raheem Sterling's
No, 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 no,
hatred?
no, 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 no. I don't
Is
know if you,
he surpassed that or
for the audience, for the people listening, if you guys if you guys check out Twitter every now and then, and you see me ranting, if you see the Best of Rivals podcast Twitter rant when a City game is playing, it's me. And please understand that rant that I was going on with Sterling was in bad. Sterling is the reason. By the way, I didn't even talk about it. Sterling's the reason we lost that game. I mean,
wow?
2 feet away from the goal.
There's the blame. See,
Two.
that's what I want. I want to hear who is it? Who
Okay,
is it?
you know,
And
I'll
it's
tell you.
Sterling.
Okay, in that game, Sterling, 2 feet away. I'm telling you, like you could pick up a random person off the street and they're scoring. You could pick up anyone from the stadium that game and they're scoring that. So this guy is just Sterling was horrendous, man, horrendous. So yeah, Sterling's still my number one problem at City for sure.
Okay.
I think the problem with Grealish is not Grealish. I think it's Pep. There's no way you decide to buy this specific player. This is not a player that we don't know how he plays, and oh, is he going to fit into? This is a
That was a very impulse type of buy. You know, I think he went off of what was going on around him. He
maybe
saw, PSG forming up. Chelsea just beat them in, the finals. It's just a lot of like, what do we do to remain at the
yeah
top a little bit?
yeah.
You pick up Grealish.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. I think they didn't have a really good game plan of like where to play him. Even like he's playing on the left wing at times. He looks isolated. Then he's playing false nine and he can't do anything. That guy needs to be playing in the midfield, maybe partnered with a Kevin De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva, and he needs to just run at players because when he's running at players, he's dangerous as hell. He's one of the best. But when the guy's stagnant, when he's waiting for the ball and then he gets it and he's a one-on-one situation, he's not fast enough. Dude, the guy right now, I can't really blame him. I hate watching him play, but I can't blame him for his performances, in a way.
Yeah.
So, um, very interesting. I know I agree with you 100% on Sancho, Lukaku, and then Grealish. I 100% agree. And that's something that we do very, very rarely. Um, Speaking of Sancho, he wasn't there, in your game yesterday, but you guys still
Right.
managed to pull out the win. And what did we say last podcast? It was an extremely, extremely important game for you guys to win to get not
Yes.
only get you into that top four, but also to kind of knock West Ham out of the race a little bit. Um,
Exactly. Humble.
do you? I mean, I still feel that Man U's performances are well below what their actual point total is. I think they've gotten extremely fortunate in a lot of
Yeah.
these games, and a lot of games they've drawn, they've deserved to lose. A lot of these games that they've won, they deserve to draw. However, points are points, results are results. Ragnick's come in; he's actually done not so bad. Do you see this sort of momentum continuing until the end of the season?
Um. I mean, yeah, but like, I'm not buying to the hype.
Okay,
I'm standing firm on my this is a shit show club right now. And I'm saying that because early in the season, well, not early in the season, but early in the week, Martial and Ralph got into it a little bit. There's a lot of he said this and I didn't say that. Um it's just too messy. I think we're benefiting from the fact that the league, besides Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City, the other clubs, they suck. They are absolutely terrible. Because
really,
like there's
Jay?
no way we should be still in the top four right now.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Obviously we have I think the Spurs have a few games in hand. So like if they win like their next three or next two, they're gonna jump ahead of us. But
Oh yeah, you guys are definitely in a false position right now,
yeah,
right?
false position exactly. And I just think like we are lucky enough to be right here, and we're probably gonna take advantage. Hopefully, and shouts to Ralph. He's doing a great job as a manager that's just like filling in for a short term. We don't expect any you know chances at a title, like nothing like that. We just want him to build something a little bit and then remain
Yeah,
like keep that intact. He's
yeah,
doing a phenomenal job, man. He's battling egos left and right,
yeah.
trying to, maintain and like, elevate players. I gotta give it to him. Shouts to him.
And what's really tough, and I kind of saw this, yesterday is just the problem that Man U's got themselves into with buying Ronaldo. Like obviously like great
Mm.
player, but it's like it's not a great situation, bro. If you really think about it, like when you see guys like Greenwood, he's like dropping deep to get the ball. That's not his game. Like he's like you're expecting this guy to make like turn into a winger or something. That's not his game. Like there's just it's a lot. And then you start seeing Ronaldo getting angry at players like constantly, and the only guy he doesn't get angry at is Dallo. I think they're friends. You can kind of tell like who his friends are a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's not his fault. It's the situation that the board in Man U as a club has sort of put the other players around them in, and you hear about all this stuff coming out like every single week. Oh, the players don't like him. Oh, Cavani's more. What do they say? Cavani's easier to talk to, even though he can't really speak English well. Like it's like damn. Like there's just so much drama going on. But what we did see, you guys pulled out the win. Obviously, we did see Martial. Something that I didn't expect. I thought Martial was done with United.
Tony.
By the way, I think that still might be his last game for Man U. Still, maybe. However,
Would kill me. Would kill me.
yeah, I understand. This I was watching the broadcast and they were talking about. I was watching a couple of different things, and people were mentioning, oh, should Rashford now come on as a sub? He's came on as a sub last 2 games, and he scored both games.
Mm-hmm.
Typically when a player scores, you're like, okay, let's just put him in the starting lineup. But maybe that's going to be an issue, right? Because who are you taking out? Are you taking out Alanga, who's trying hard, playing hard? Or are you taking out Greenwood, who's clearly one of your best players, who's out of position? Sancho is going to come back. And now you have this guy, Martial, who's literally the reason that you guys won that game.
Right.
My question to you is, I guess, what are you doing with all these players at this point?
Well, I mean, I've come to the fact that I do believe that Martial is leaving. Whether this was like his last game, I don't know that. I'm not going to agree with that. But I do agree with the fact that he's leaving soon. Like, I just think there's no room for him to really be the player that he wants to be at United. I was very impressed with his performance yesterday. He came in and you clearly saw
Played great. Yeah.
The dude, like he is our most creative forward. Like he can do everything. He can shoot. He can assist. He's clinical. Martial has it all.
I would agree. He's the player that you guys need right now.
Yeah.
But he's not the player that
exactly
it seems is really in favor, which is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but I think he's leaving. So, with that cuts down, the roster a little bit. And then with Rashford, I've always told you I'm not a big fan of him. And it's not like I don't think he's a great player. I just don't think he's good enough. But I do think he's good enough to be off the bench though and be a super sub. And we clearly see what he can do. He has pace.
2 games in a row. It's like that's a pretty dynamic option off the bench. If you're struggling to score goals,
it's a great option off the bench, bro. It's just like it's a no brainer. You have a player who's essentially all pace. Like he's I'm sorry, United fans are gonna hate me here, but I've come to a very very great comparison. I think Marcus Rashford is a very 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 like high grade Daniel James. They both play the same way. I just thought about it. It's north and south. It's north and fucking south, man. That's all. There's nothing in between. That decision in the last third is just absolutely terrible. It's Marcus Rashford, but he's good enough to like what separates him from a lot of players. Like hopefully as I knock him down a little bit.
Hopefully also
as I knock him down, I'm gonna bring him up. What separates him from a lot of players is him in the last 5 minutes. He's a killer. He wants to be great, and we clearly see that he gets game-winning goals left and right.
Yeah. I believe
so. Why not put him in? Yeah, I think exactly. It's crazy. So why not bring him on at the last minute?
In the 90th minute, by the way, like 4 goals in the 90th minute. That's a stat that I heard. Crazy.
It's crazy.
Comparing him to Daniel James is hilarious. I do see the comparison. Obviously, like the whole north to south.
North and south
doesn't really pick up his head too much. But that is hilarious. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
and
That
and
was that
then
was a
and
good laugh.
then let's get to Alanga because I've been wanting to talk about him a lot now. I'm happy for the kid. Shall see you. You're getting your shine,
You loan him
but you
out. I
should
know
not
you're.
be in the starting lineup.
You
You
loan
should
him out.
not be in the starting lineup. Not with
Yeah,
the caliber of players that we have. You have Sancho. You have Greenwood. They are permanent. They have told me I'm solidified. That's my left winger and that's my right winger. I don't need Alanga in that lineup.
yeah, yeah.
You can play him off the bench if you want
He's
to.
he's
You
played
can.
he's played well, but
He's played
it's
well,
yeah.
but come on, man.
You
Like, what are we doing?
in my opinion, you loan him out. You have to. I mean, this is a guy who clearly has some promise. And worst case scenario, you're going to sell him for minimum 20 mil at this point. He's
Yep.
already proven.
I say you can get maybe 18, but 20.
Yeah, like in my opinion, yeah, you loan him out. Like maybe not until the summer, but yeah, interesting. And then obviously, here's also another problem that I have. Right, you guys have Ronaldo, short, kind of an issue. You kind of have to play him every game, and you're obviously playing him in Greenwood's spot. You also have this guy named Cavani, and he comes on, and he plays well.
Yeah,
He's
he
clearly
does.
he's clearly a likable player. He clearly puts in work every time he comes in, but he's just not. When you get no service, you can't really do much of it as a striker. So, but he still justifies playing time. But he's like, bro, they were playing like four strikers. It was crazy. So like, what do you do with that guy? Obviously, he's going in the summer. Do you keep playing him over a Martial or a Greenwood or these other guys?
I mean, at this point, yeah, I think with Cavani, you just milk out whatever you can out of him.
Yeah,
It kind of sucks. Like that situation right there's another one where like United put themselves in a very very bad like
bad
position.
position. Yep, they really did.
Very
They did
very
not
bad.
need him this season. They did not need him this season. Why the hell would
At
you
all.
resign him? Why?
Cavani. When I saw that, and everyone was like, "Bro, this is gonna." I'm like, "I
Like I get it. I
just
get it for
what?"
last. I get it for last season. Especially with I think Rashford was having some injury problems and
Yeah, he
stuff.
got
But
hurt.
like,
And Cavani came in.
but bro, like, makes no sense. I mean,
It makes no
I
sense.
think he's gonna play the FA Cup games, and that's about it. So, um, wow. I mean, overall, Jay, crazy weekend. Unfortunately for us, unfortunately for me, um, we did drop 2 points again. But and every time dude, that game, I mean, I was yelling so much. I think I got an eviction notice. Actually, I think the neighbors were complaining. But um,
Yeah, I
next
mean,
week, yeah, go ahead.
no, before we wrap it up, I just want to get your quick give me your top three players of the year so far.
In the
I feel
prem,
like this.
right?
Yeah, in the Prem, I feel like the season has been very very crazy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
This season for me has been even more weird than COVID. COVID was crazy, like,
Yeah.
but this season just feels odd for some I don't know.
Well, I think the player that you have to give it to, we'll give these spots to, are players that have been consistent.
Okay,
Um, because this is one of these seasons where consistency is really proving to be more valuable, right? Because typically you could get away, and I think United is probably the only team that's really getting away with bad performances on a consistent basis. However, there's one reason why you guys are getting through all these games, and that is David De Gea, without question, without question. And I've been saying this, by the way. Don't. I'm consistent with this. Without question, he's been the best goalkeeper this season, no question. And you know why? You know why?
David.
You know why? Sure, he's good, but he's because he's had to be. This is the whole point about goalkeepers. When you have to be the best and you live up to it, you get your hand raised 100%. And that guy, week in week out, is the reason you
David.
guys are getting points.
100%. I love that one.
First player that comes to my mind for
I
sure.
was I wasn't expecting that, but I love it. I love it, baby. Let's go.
I know you do. Obviously,
All right.
Salah's got to be in there.
Okay. Ooh.
Ridiculous goal scoring record.
Okay.
And then if we're putting one more in there, I kind of what, if we're putting one more in there, I know this is kind of a shocker. I think you could pick a lot of players from City. I know Cancelo's a big one that people want to put in there. Which, by the way, I think if we ask this question to everyone on the planet, most would put Cancelo in there, right? I'm going to change it up. And I'm not even putting Bernardo Silva in there either. As great as he's been, there's been one player that is so underrated And if you watch the games, I've watched every City game.
I think
If
I
you
know
watch,
you're talking
if you
about.
watch the, who am I talking about?
Phil Foden?
No, not Phil Foden. Rodri. Rodri
Oh my!
has been
What?
no. Watch the games. Watch.
bro,
Jay,
I'm not trying to say like Rodri's bad. He's a great player, but bro, best
Jay,
player like
Jay.
Cancelo's a better player for City than Rodri right now, bro.
If you listen, if you're watching highlights, if you're watching highlights and you're reading stats, absolutely. And that's why I preface this by saying Bernardo Silva, Cancelo, 100%. I get why most people would say them. This guy is running the show. If you think about it, we relied for so many years on Fernandinho to be our holding midfielder,
Yeah,
right?
that's facts.
This guy's come in and he's actually given a different dimension. Not only is this guy
Okay.
is literally like he's just bossing the midfield at all times.
So you're saying he is from that Yaya Toure,
Yeah,
type
played
of
a little bit higher up the pitch, but
exactly, yeah, but he can also play a little deep backer as well.
yeah, exactly. Like he's got the defensive side down.
Right.
He's got the strength. His ability
He's
on the ball is ridiculous.
right, and he's basically the general of the midfield. You know,
He's the
like you said, he's
general of the
controlling
midfield.
everything.
Exactly. I just feel he's super underrated, bro. And when he's actually shooting a lot more outside the box and actually scoring now as well. So and he's like 6'5", 6'3", 6'5", something like that. And we don't have a lot of people to head the ball. Not a lot of threat in the box. He also every time he comes in, man, this is a dangerous player. Listen, I understand most people put in other players. I get it, but when you watch the games, this is the guy. You don't talk about him. He's an 8 out of 10 every single week.
So it was Salah,
De Gea, Rodri. Because
right.
again, Rodri's done it week in, week out. Cancelo's literally made a mistake yesterday that cost us a goal. So like, Cancelo makes way more mistakes, but he also makes way more sort of highlight moments and incredible moments. Bernardo Silva, if you want to put him in, no question. But yeah, I'm going with Rodri, 100%. 100%. Best CDM in the league at the moment, no question. No question.
Okay.
Jay, there's only one CDM, maybe a little bit better than Rodri. Maybe a little bit better. And that's this guy right here.
Hey, put it in the trash, bro. I take it back. Never want to see it again. No, I like that.
Or
no, I do. The Rodri one still kind of shaky, but the way you broke it down, it's I understand it. I understand the importance of a player like that on the team, so I get it. But I'm gonna throw you mine real quickly. I'm gonna go De Gea.
Yeah,
I think that's a solid one.
No
for
order,
United
by
fan.
The way. No order.
Yeah, no order.
Yeah,
but De Gea, just playing really, really well, doing his thing.
Ridiculous.
Like what he has in front of him is just sad, but shouts to him. For real, shouts to him. Number 2, I want to go Salah. I do want to go Salah. He's been out a few games now, right? Like
with the Africa Cup of Nations. So
yeah. Okay, but yeah, I think you got to go Salah. In terms of just being the most, I guess, dominant, attacking player in the Prem, it's him right now.
His conversion rate is ridiculous this season. So
it's crazy. Like I know Liverpool was really worried this upcoming fixtures because him and Sadio are gone.
And
like
they've
you
done
said,
great.
and they've done great. They've done great. The third one, this is where I'm looking here, and I think you have to go with a City player for one, because they are the best team in the league, and they have talent everywhere on the pitch. Who do I pick though is where I've been struggling.
KDB is the best player on the team,
right?
But he may have not had the best season
exactly
on the team.
And I to me it's 3 that you can really I think talk about right now. Cancelo. I give you Rodri. So I like the way you broke it down.
I think Bernardo Silva is kind of a safe bet, right? He's been great.
I would say we're still Prem, right? Just Prem, nothing else. Yeah, but okay, yeah, Silva.
It's probably Silva. I think Silva's the safest bet for sure. I mean, we could also talk about maybe Ruben Diaz, but yeah.
How do you feel about Foden?
Foden's had some great moments, just not similar to
He's
KDB.
not okay.
Similar to
All right,
KDB.
so from that batch, I would take. Yeah, I think Bernardo Silva has been the third best, player in the Premier League so far.
Yeah.
I think he's been that good. Shouts to Rodri. I understand what he does, but Silva, the dude's been going crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of the game is to score goals, and he's either creating something or scoring it himself. So I can 100% agree for sure. Interesting talk, Jay. Interesting little discussion. We've actually agreed on so much this podcast. It's actually crazy. Typically it's like, wait, Jay, what did you say? Or wait, Daniel, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's the face.
Today, this is just, I don't know. Mark it down. January 23rd, the day that D and J actually agree. Now, for next podcast, it will not be next weekend because I believe we are doing international break, right?
Yes, they come seems like every other week now. So
yeah, I know, right? So games will pick up on Saturday, February 5th, but that's just one game. So
what game is it?
The next, it's a Burnley Watford. I think that's maybe.
Oh my god!
It's because Burnley need to play more games.
Hey, do you watch the Prim cancel? They just cancel the
whole. No, so I think we're gonna pick up episode 18 on Sunday, February 13th. That's gonna be the first full week back of games after the international break. So until then, Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Hey, it has, man. Make sure you enjoy your Valentine's Day. With your special person. It's exactly. Hey,
thanks for the reminder. Nice.
All day, Brody. This is why I'm here. It's best of rivals, but I got you.
Hey, by the way, I know we mentioned it in the podcast already, but Twitter, was it at the Best of Rivals or at Best of Rivals? I think it's at Best of Rivals.
At the Best of Rivals.
At the Best of Rivals, and then on Instagram as well.
Yeah.
And then YouTube's popping off. Listen, you have to follow us on Twitter. When the games are on, you want to follow Best of Rivals because I will be going crazy.
It's ranting, man. Ranting, the emojis. It's everything. It's fire, though. It's fire.
Emojis. My emoji game is ridiculous now, by the way. So, all right, that's it from me. That's it from Jay. It's been a great one. Episode 17, we're out.
Deuces, baby.